Welcome back to PC, Police Chase, where every decision happens in a split second and the consequences can last forever. What is about to happen goes far beyond what you might expect. If you're ready for a tense ride all the way to the end, let's get started right now. On April 10, along Ryan Street in Calcasieu Parish, Louisiana, a pursuit involving a stolen truck was captured on a patrol vehicle's dashcam. The footage later became key evidence in court, as prosecutors used the video to reconstruct how the driver fled in the vehicle, endangered the public, and damaged property throughout the route. In the video shown during the trial, the stolen truck sped through a residential area, swerved through traffic, drove into oncoming lanes, and struck multiple vehicles. During the escape, the driver was also accused of throwing a stolen handgun out of the vehicle in an attempt to get rid of evidence.
Driver, stop your vehicle! Hold down through line.
The pursuit ended only after a crash left the truck unable to continue moving, and law enforcement quickly took the driver into custody at the scene. In court, the driver claimed he did not intentionally flee and argued that the truck had lost its brakes, making it impossible to stop. However, prosecutors compared that testimony with the dashcam video and recorded jail calls. In those recordings, the driver was said to have admitted that he deliberately drove away and led police into the pursuit. The contradiction between his courtroom testimony, the dashcam footage, and the jail calls became a key point that weakened the defense's argument. The defendant was identified as 34-year-old Cody Davis. The jury found Davis guilty on 6 charges, including unlawful possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of a stolen handgun, fleeing from law enforcement under dangerous circumstances, use of a stolen vehicle, obstruction of justice related to discarding evidence, and damage to government or public property. The jury reached a unanimous verdict on the first 5 charges and voted 11-1 on the obstruction of justice count. Davis was held in custody pending sentencing, which was scheduled for 9 a.m. on November 2. In this case, the dashcam did not just record a pursuit, it became a silent witness that challenged the brake failure claim directly in front of the jury. Early Thursday morning in Athens, Georgia, an Athens-Clarke County police officer was parked near Jittery Joe's on South Millage Avenue when he spotted a white pickup truck traveling at a very high speed. When the officer activated his lights and siren and signaled for the driver to stop, the driver refused to comply and accelerated through the downtown streets. During the pursuit, the vehicle ran through multiple intersections, blew through red lights, reached speeds of about 70 to 90 miles per hour, and the driver even took a photo of the speedometer and posted it to Snapchat, making the situation dangerous for other people on the road.
Crash. They just crashed. Get out on the ground! Get out on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get down! Put your hands out! Put your hands out!
Less than 2 minutes after the pursuit began, the pickup truck lost control on Oconee Street and crashed into multiple parked vehicles along the road. The pursuing officer immediately reported over the radio that the driver had crashed. Law enforcement quickly moved in on the vehicle, removed the driver from the cabin, subdued him, and placed him in handcuffs at the scene. After being arrested, the driver repeatedly asked officers whether he could go look at the cars he had just hit.
The other side should be unlocked. Don't move. Stay where you're at. Please turn it off. Cut that truck off. Get up. Get up.
The driver was identified as 19-year-old Hunter Wilkerson, a University of Georgia student. About 15 minutes before the pursuit, UGA police had stopped Wilkerson in connection with the theft and vandalism of street signs on campus, but did not pursue him when he fled. ACCPD later collected body cam video, Snapchat images, and damage reports to forward to prosecutors. Wilkerson faced multiple charges, including fleeing and attempting to elude law enforcement in a vehicle, reckless driving, speeding, property damage, and charges related to the theft and vandalism of UGA street signs. No civilians or officers were injured, but the incident shows how one decision to show off speed on social media can turn a few minutes behind the wheel into a serious criminal record. At 8:36 a.m. on the 10th of June 2021, at Pioneer Park in Salt Lake City, Utah, SLC 911 received a call from a witness reporting that a woman had just been stabbed in the park. The victim suffered serious injuries to her arm and abdomen. SLC Fire arrived at around 8:44 a.m. to provide medical aid, while 2 Salt Lake City Police Department officers arrived at the scene at around 8:46 a.m. Witnesses and firefighters later pointed officers toward the man suspected of being involved, who was still inside the park.
She said that guy did it?
That's what she said. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go for him.
The 2 officers moved toward the man, who was sitting near the base of a tree. When he stood up, one officer saw that he was holding a knife and immediately warned his partner. Police repeatedly ordered him to drop the knife while backing away to maintain a safe distance. However, the man refused to follow the commands and continued advancing toward the officers while still holding the weapon.
Stop! Put the knife down now! Put it down! Drop the knife! Drop it! Put the knife down! Let it go, man! Come on, I want to help you! We want to help you! Put the knife down! Come on, man! Hey, come on! Come on, man, we want to help! Where you hit? Come on, man, we want to help! Where you hit, buddy?
When one officer mentioned using a taser, the man suddenly rushed toward the second officer with the knife in his hand. Faced with a direct threat at close range, both officers opened fire, striking the man and causing him to fall onto the grass. After the shooting, the man was still holding the knife in his right hand, so officers continued ordering him to drop the weapon. Once the knife fell, one officer moved in, secured one of the man's hands, and placed him in a position to receive medical aid while calling for emergency assistance. SLC fire personnel, who were already nearby, quickly returned to help and transported the man to the hospital.
Sir, please talk to me.
Medical.
Come on, buddy.
4 years old on campus. Barely conscious.
Hey! He won't respond. I've been trying to get him to respond.
The man was identified as 39-year-old Rezik Yakub Yahya. The investigative file related to the stabbing in the park and his alleged act of charging at officers with a knife was forwarded to prosecutors for review. The listed charges included high-level attempted murder and aggravated assault on a public servant. Body cam video was secured and reviewed as part of the officer-involved shooting investigation. A call about a stabbing victim at Pioneer Park forced officers to confront a suspect who was still armed with a knife at the scene, and within seconds, the safe distance disappeared as the man rushed directly toward an officer. At approximately 3:15 p.m. on the 20th of February 2021, near the intersection of San Mateo and Copper in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Albuquerque Police Department officers Jared Potter and Christian Cordova spotted a man walking in the roadway, obstructing traffic and creating a danger for passing vehicles. The two officers approached and ordered him to move onto the sidewalk and stop so they could speak with him, but he refused to comply and continued walking away.
Hey, stop walking, police department!
Subject is receiving get out of the runway, and it does look like he has some kind of weapon that's moving his right hand. Any unit to assistance on the tail grid?
Traffic meter, you get paid.
Hey, Albuquerque police, sir, you need to get out of the road.
You get paid, so you get out of the road.
Hey, put down the knife.
Put it down.
Drop the knife.
Drop it.
While following the man, officers noticed that he had a knife on his side. As police continued ordering him to stop and warned that they would use a taser, the man suddenly turned around, armed with the knife, and rushed toward one of the officers. Officer Cordova deployed his taser in an attempt to use a less lethal option to stop him, but the device did not stop the man, forcing the officers to keep backing away to maintain distance.
Hey! Drop the fucking knife!
Shots fired from 43 feet below.
Don't reach for it.
Turn on your back! Turn on your stomach!
After the taser proved ineffective, the man redirected his movement toward Officer Jared Potter. Although police repeatedly ordered him to stop and drop the knife, he continued advancing, raised his hand, and threw the knife toward the officer at close range. Faced with a direct threat from the weapon, both officers opened fire, striking the man and causing him to fall onto the roadway.
Next responding unit, if they can take more chest and set materials to block them over. Which unit is this? 798.
Yeah, I'm good. I got hit arm with the knife. Yeah, I'm good. It's right there. It's right here.
The man was identified as 40-year-old Claude Trevino. Trevino was transported to the hospital, but later died from his injuries. Officers Potter and Cordova were not injured. Body cam video was released and reviewed as part of the officer-involved shooting investigation. The incident began with a man walking in the middle of the roadway, but within minutes it turned into a dangerous encounter when a knife appeared. The taser failed to stop him, and the weapon was thrown directly toward police. At approximately 2:21 p.m. on Thursday, in the 2500 block of Ludlow in Deltona, Florida, a woman called to report that a stranger had climbed into her pickup truck, pointed a gun at her, demanded the keys, and then drove away in the vehicle. The Volusia County Sheriff's Office immediately deployed units to search for the carjacked vehicle. When the truck was located, the driver refused to stop and continued fleeing toward DeLand, triggering an armed pursuit through multiple areas.
Okay, westbound on 44 in the eastbound lanes. Westbound in the eastbound lanes of 44.
Guys, the other two start backing off.
Okay, in the median, two trucks just try to block him in. He got around him though, still westbound.
Sergeant, if he does bail, you've got the deployment. Me and Animal stand by and cover you. Sounds good, thanks. Good job. I keep that inside lane open to the end of South Point. I got it.
During the pursuit, the driver continued operating the vehicle dangerously, at one point intentionally driving toward a deputy who was preparing to deploy a tire deflation device. He also repeatedly reached his hand out of the window and waved a handgun while patrol vehicles followed behind him. After multiple attempts to stop the truck, including PIT maneuvers, the vehicle became heavily damaged, all four tires were disabled, and it slowed down before finally coming to a stop on State Road 44 near the Volusia County Fairgrounds.
Got a gun to his head, he's running.
Open fire! Hey, don't go fucking... Get the fuck back!
When the truck came to a stop, the man stepped out with a gun in his hand and ran towards civilian vehicles stopped on the roadway, raising the risk of another carjacking. A deputy used an unmarked SUV to position himself between the man and the civilians in an effort to prevent a hostage situation. Moments later, the man turned back and fired at law enforcement. One round struck Sergeant Thomas Dane's duty hat, passing near the K9 logo and causing a graze wound to his scalp. 5 deputies returned fire, striking the man. Even after being wounded, he continued running into a wooded area along the road while still holding the gun before deputies subdued him, disarmed him, placed him in handcuffs, and began rendering aid.
Yeah, I got hit in the head with the ground. With what? With a bullet. Okay. No, man, I'm good. Let me get my med kit.
The man was identified as 30-year-old Philip Thomas Marsh of Lake Helen. Marsh was transported to the hospital, but later died from his injuries. Sergeant Thomas Dane, 54, a member of the K9 unit, was taken to Halifax Health Medical Center in Daytona Beach, where he was treated for a graze wound to the head and released later that night. Marsh's family had reported him missing earlier that week and said he had been suicidal, previously threatening to force police to shoot him. FDLE took over the independent investigation under standard procedure following the officer-involved shooting, while the 5 deputies involved were placed on paid administrative leave. An armed carjacking in Deltona turned into a pursuit, PIT maneuvers, a gunfight, and a moment separated by only a few inches when a bullet tore through Sergeant Dane's cap but did not take his life. At approximately 2:45 p.m. on the 25th of August, 2021, at the intersection of Parkway Drive and Sherwood Lane in Crescent City, California, officers with the California Highway Patrol, working with the Del Norte County Sheriff's Office, responded to a disabled vehicle that was blocking the roadway and causing traffic congestion. As law enforcement approached the area, they spotted a man armed with a knife walking between traffic lanes, creating an immediate danger to civilians and vehicles nearby.
Can y'all not come near me? Because I ain't come near y'all, though.
What we have is that we want to get away from that knife. You want to step over here and talk to us? That'd be fine. We want to get away from that knife.
So look at me, baby. Just tell me. Baby.
Sir, can I just have you take a couple steps that way?
Bro, step over here, bro. I'm not going to come near you.
Can I stay right here? And we still talking, y'all worried about the knife. Like, y'all got guns, tasers, every fucking...
Officers quickly surrounded the man and ordered him to drop the knife. According to the body cam video, he initially let the knife fall to the ground near his feet, but still refused to comply with commands to move away from the weapon. As police repeatedly ordered him to keep his distance from the knife, the man continued speaking with a woman off camera and refused to follow the commands being given at the scene.
Y'all don't even know who running y'all. Or do y'all know? Do y'all know who running y'all? They don't even care about that. That's what I'm saying. And all they caring about is the knife. And I ain't even got the knife. I'm just a man right here.
We're
right?
just
That's how
asking
y'all
if you
look
can
at
step
it.
away from the knife for a second.
And if I step away from the knife, what that mean? Are you recording, baby?
The situation escalated when the man suddenly bent down, picked the knife back up, raised the weapon, and quickly charged toward an officer at close range. Faced with an immediate threat, officers opened fire, striking the man and causing him to fall onto the roadway. Moments later, law enforcement secured the weapon, controlled the scene, and began emergency first aid until Del Norte ambulance personnel arrived to assist. The man later died from his injuries.
Stop moving!
Hey, somebody else come get this
Get your hands on him! Stop moving!
Don't move!
The man was identified as 38-year-old Robert Anderson. No officers or civilians were injured in the incident. The Del Norte County Sheriff's Office, working with independent investigative units, secured the scene, reviewed body cam video, and collected related evidence as part of the officer-involved shooting review. What began as a response to a disabled vehicle causing traffic congestion turned into a life-or-death situation within seconds when the man picked the knife back up and charged directly toward police in the middle of the intersection.
Hey, brother.
Your hands on the
We have a robbery. Hey, I see the gun.
You got a gun, go reach where you can get shot.
All right, get on the. Hey.
At around 10:43 p.m. on the 8th of August 2021, in the 1600 block of East Willow Street in Signal Hill, California, police were dispatched after a report of an armed robbery at a grocery store. When officers arrived, witnesses pointed toward a silver 2020 Honda Accord leaving the parking lot. Police signaled for the vehicle to stop, but the driver accelerated away toward Long Beach, causing Signal Hill officers to temporarily lose sight of it near Pacific Avenue and Willow Street. About 11 minutes later, Long Beach police located the Honda involved in a crash near Harbor Avenue and Pacific Coast Highway, but the driver had already abandoned the vehicle and fled the scene on foot.
You gonna be verbal?
Okay, I'm gonna be verbal.
Okay, someone should
Hey, dude, hey, we wanna help you, okay? We wanna help you, okay? Do me a favor. Get on your stomach. I need to see your hand. Try.
On the ground.
Please, brother.
We're trying to get him to comply.
Brother, I'm trying to help you. Try your hardest to get that hand out. I don't want you to get hurt, okay? Dude, I know that gun is on your right side, so we can't approach. We can't approach until your hand is out. Please, brother.
Thanks to information from a resident, police determined that the man was hiding near Esther Street and Harbor Avenue. As officers moved in to arrest him, they noticed the grip of a gun exposed from the suspect's front pants pocket. While law enforcement attempted to restrain him and recover the weapon, the situation became dangerous, prompting Long Beach officers to open fire. The man was struck, fell to the roadway, and was then disarmed, handcuffed, and given first aid at the scene before firefighters transported him to the hospital in critical condition. The suspect was identified as 28-year-old Leonidas Enriquez of Bellflower. At the scene, police recovered a loaded handgun. The 2020 Honda Accord Enriquez had been using was determined to have been stolen earlier that day. Enriquez faced charges including armed robbery, unlawful possession of a firearm and ammunition by a prohibited person, fleeing and eluding law enforcement, and charges related to using a stolen vehicle. His bail was listed at $35,000. A robbery in Signal Hill led police into Long Beach, where the stolen car ended in a crash, a foot search, and a dangerous moment when a loaded handgun appeared during the arrest. On Monday, April 12, in Forsyth County, Georgia, a resident called the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office after seeing the driver of a black Dodge Charger throw a suspicious bag near a business parking lot. Upon checking, the vehicle matched the description of a car connected to several recent thefts. A short time later, officers spotted the Dodge traveling on Atlanta Road and saw the driver using a handheld cell phone while driving, so they followed the vehicle into the Merchant Square parking lot to conduct a check.
We got that car stopped. It is an Arizona tag. Like about 4 times it's taken off.
7534.
Radio, we're signal 12 with it, just based on the 39. I believe it's going to be an Enter an Auto Crew, 4 or 5 black males. We're going north on Highway 9 towards 20.
When law enforcement approached, 4 men had already stepped out of the vehicle but quickly got back inside the cabin. The driver then accelerated away, leading FCSO deputies into a pursuit through multiple roads.
Run that tag, I can't get out of Arizona.
The pursuit ended on Buford Dam Road when an officer used a PIT maneuver to force the Dodge Charger out of control and bring it to a stop. Even after the vehicle was blocked in, the occupants inside did not immediately comply, forcing police to issue multiple commands before moving in and taking all 4 men into custody. After the suspects were secured, law enforcement searched the Dodge Charger. The group claimed they were from Chicago, Illinois, and were in Georgia for a vacation, but officers found several suspicious items inside the vehicle, including ski masks, heavy hoodies despite the hot weather, fake identification documents, and other pieces of evidence. Police recovered 2 Glock 17 handguns, one of which was loaded with an extended magazine, a loaded high-capacity magazine, and less than 1 ounce of marijuana.
Radio, they're compliant. We got a good pit, good pin, good pin.
The driver, Kushan Hawkins, was accused of multiple offenses, including using a cell phone while driving, reckless driving, fleeing, traffic signal violations, marijuana possession, and falsifying documents. His bond was set at $18,240. Javon Sherrod was accused of marijuana possession and unlawful possession of a firearm, with bonds set at $23,930. Cantrell Hawkins was accused of unlawful possession of a firearm, with bonds set at $11,130. The fourth passenger, Arrington, was not charged and was released. On the 9th of January, 2021, near the 1500 block of South Karlov Avenue in Chicago, Illinois, 3 officers with the Chicago Police Department spotted a vehicle illegally parked in the roadway, obstructing traffic. The team approached the vehicle to investigate and ordered the occupants to cooperate as part of a routine public order violation response. When police approached, 2 passengers inside the vehicle got out and cooperated with law enforcement. However, when one officer moved toward the driver's seat and ordered the driver to exit the vehicle, the situation quickly became dangerous. The driver refused to follow commands and suddenly pulled out a handgun, forcing the officers to back away and seek a safer position.
Come on, let's go today, shorty. Alright, shit. I'm sitting on my coat though. Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. Let me see. Hey, let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. Send one. Shots fire. Put your hands up.
Faced with a direct threat from the gun at close range, 2 of the 3 CPD officers opened fire, striking the driver. After the gunfire stopped, law enforcement secured the scene, recovered the firearm, and began providing emergency first aid to the man who had been shot. He was later transported to a local hospital with multiple gunshot wounds, but his condition stabilized. The 2 passengers and all 3 officers were not injured.
Okay, talk to me. Nobody get 26 shot. I'm gonna get my phone that way. Roll your mask. Ready, start. You guys good? Look at this one. You see it? I saw it.
The driver was later identified as a woman, but her specific identity was not listed in the information provided. After the shooting, Chicago's Civilian Office of Police Accountability took over the independent review, collecting body cam video and related materials to clarify the full sequence of events. The incident began with a vehicle illegally parked on South Karlov, but within seconds, when the driver pulled out a gun, a routine traffic-related check turned into a life-or-death use-of-force situation on the side of the road. At around 9:30 a.m. on Friday, near Brick Church Pike and Ewing Drive in Nashville, Tennessee, Field Training Officer Josh Baker with the Metro Nashville Police Department spotted a black 2015 Chevrolet Camaro. A records check showed the vehicle was registered to a person with multiple drug-related warrants. Officer Baker monitored the vehicle and prepared to request air support if the car fled. The Camaro then turned into the parking lot of a Dollar General store.
Just come back here. I think we're getting off on the wrong foot, okay?
Because I'm really confused on why I'm getting stopped.
He's got several warrants.
Okay, that has nothing to do with me.
You don't know who's in the car.
Nobody's
just in here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, was there...
Well, I'm about 5 minutes from you.
Is this...
Yes. It's probably another day. Hey, Mom, I need you to come to Alpha Trinity.
When Officer Baker approached, he determined that the driver was not the wanted registered owner, but a woman. At first, she was relatively cooperative. However, when the officer checked her purse and found suspected marijuana along with a bag of white powder, the situation quickly changed. As Officer Baker prepared to detain her while waiting for backup, the woman pulled away, turned back toward the Camaro's cabin, and tried to close the door.
Step out. Ma'am, put the gun down! Put the gun down!
Officer Baker drew his taser and repeatedly ordered the driver to step out of the vehicle, but inside the cabin, she suddenly pulled out a semi-automatic pistol and pointed it toward the officer. Baker dropped the taser, drew his duty weapon, and ordered her to drop the gun. Moments later, the woman opened fire, striking Officer Baker in the side, with the round penetrating his ballistic vest. Baker returned fire, striking the driver. After dropping the gun onto the parking lot pavement, the driver still managed to drive the Camaro away from the scene.